Hello, welcome back to my channel, Graveyard Tours. I'm at St. John's Gulbert, I think it's pronounced, on Scalp Avenue in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Right off of, Scalp Avenue basically goes right to the center of town. We call it the hill. You know, you're going up the hill or down the hill, that's Scalp Avenue we talk. So anyway, please subscribe to my channel to help support me because, you know, it takes time, energy, money to do these things, but you know, I can't lie that I do enjoy it. So let's start out with this, a little bit of controversy, okay? We found here a Confederate veteran, William Garr. If you can see that, Confederate veteran, William Garr, Pennsylvania Regiment. There's a Pennsylvania Regiment flag, but this is on Confederate side. They didn't have many Confederate soldiers here in Pennsylvania, Johnstown. It looks like it's North Carolina Regiment, or maybe, you know, served in North Carolina. So goes to prove that the Civil War really did separate families, because most of the soldiers here buried here were Union soldiers in the Civil War. But this is a sad and very spooky cemetery. A lot of broken headstones. This, like for instance, okay, so yeah, this is not a veteran, but somebody placed an emblem, a World War II emblem, but this person died in 1912. So, okay, so maybe somebody found it, just stuck it wherever they thought they could. This is mainly a Italian cemetery, because the immigrants, you know, came to this country. You know, they hung out together. They went to the same church together, spoke the same language. They, you know, went to the bars together, and that's how it was, you know, back in those days. So, you know, it's just the way it was. So most of these people buried here are Italian descent. Now you can see all these grave yards with the missing headstones. So the headstones got broken, destroyed a long time ago. And a lot of these families, you know, probably moved away or died off, and they're just forgotten. You know, these poor people are just forgotten. They're no longer visited, and nobody's taking care of them. But then you'll see something like this. Here, this person, a mother, Catherine DeGardy, who died in 1918. Obviously, this is not a 1918 headstone. So some of the families still here, and then they pay respects and have new headstones placed to replace the missing or broken ones. And this is what you see. This is very sad. I hate to see this. You know, it's like it's disrespectful. But again, I've seen a lot of repairs too in different cemeteries, and maybe I think the churches, maybe once a year they send out people to, or volunteer people to fix. And then the law is I'm not allowed to touch them. I'm not allowed to straighten up these stones or do anything with them. You know, it's just you know, it's against the law. And you know, and I would feel wrong if I tried and lifted one up and broke one in half or something, because some of these are very old. So to get back to this cemetery, so we have a lot of veterans here buried, obviously, and you know, this is not the oldest cemetery, that's for sure, but it's spooky, it's creepy, it's mostly forgotten. Pennsylvania does an excellent job, like I said in my previous videos, of recording most of their veterans from every war, because this is a very patriotic state. So this is okay, this is World War I. Peter Moblin died in 1925, and Company 11th Regiment, Private World War I. Thank you for your service. So they do a great job. I've been to other cemeteries, other states. They don't do as good a job as Pennsylvania does. Takes a lot of research and dedicated volunteers and workers to find these. And let's take a look. This one, this is, you know, this person, Giovanni Sacca, died 1925. But look at that. This wrought iron cross, beautiful, just beautiful. You know, and then you'll see a lot of this. You'll see a lot of the pictures. Anthony Russo died 1926. you see the Italians, and I think the Greeks also, they placed pictures. A lot of them placed their pictures in the on the headstones. Here's an old one. It looks like 1925. Alberto Gucci. You know, very interesting. Very interesting. So, and here, of course, are children. Every time you see a lamb, so 18, this was an 8-year-old child. You know, every time you see the lamb, this was also a child, probably a lamb that broke off. You know, they put a lot of times they put the lamb on top. And this is interesting. Pernis. It has a broken angel head on it. It's, you know, I don't like to see that either. But anyway, so a lot of war veterans, So this is Jacob. Turchi, 1928 die, and that has to be World War I. So yeah, that's World War I. Let me give you a panoramic view. I would guess this is probably over 50 acres, easily, very easily. I don't think it's 100 acres, but definitely over 50. That's all I can really tell you. And like I said, they're peppered. The war veterans are peppered everywhere. You see all the flags. Every flag that you see is a war veteran. So they, like I said, and it's not all Italians out here. They, sometimes when the church would take over, or just different members end up in the church. They started burying, I guess, any member of the church. But again, it's common sense that they hung out together. So here's a interesting thing. Nimitz. It's not the Nimitz that you're thinking of, the General Nimitz from World War II, but this was a truck company in World War II. Thank you for your service, Frank Nimitz. Died in 1965. Here's another. This is a World War I. Leo Yoslik Sr. Forgive me if I'm not pronouncing these names correctly. That's World War I. 316th, 79th Division. Private company. Here's another one. Here's a sunken grave. You can't see anything because but it's just so World War II. Pascal de Blasis. Again, forgive me if I'm not pronouncing these names correctly. And John Sanderson. See, this guy doesn't seem to be Italian. This name Sanderson, I can't imagine that's Italian. World War II. Thank you all for your service. Thank you very much. Here's another one. I don't want to be. Charles Luigi. Definitely it sounds Italian to me. Died in 1962. World War II. Thank you. So, a lot of these soldiers are not being visited anymore. Because a lot of families have moved out and died out. But, but at least I don't know what society is planting these flags, and I should try to find that out. So maybe in my next video, because there's so many war veterans buried out here in Pennsylvania. So here's an interesting. These are newer, 2011. So James Joseph Lill Jr., Sergeant, U.S. Army, here's a Vietnam veteran, died 2011. Thank you for service. So, and I'm not going to say thank you for your service, I'm sorry, every time, because I had to say it like 1,000 times. Here's a Korean, but when I mean thank you for your service, I mean it for all the veterans. So here's Korea, died died 2010, but Korean War veteran. But I mean thank you for your service to everybody. But sometimes I repeat myself, I can't help it. Another Korean, wow, look at this, another Korean War veteran, Gregory Koslow, died 1986. Donald Koslow, U.S. Marine Corps, thank you. Here's an interesting one here. Three together, it's got to probably be a family. Yeah, they're probably family. Let's look at this real quick. Irene McGabb, World War II, died 1996. James McGabb, private U.S. Army, died 1976. That has to be also World War II. Yes, World War II. This cross you see here, you see that a lot for World War I, World War II. The World War I gravestones usually are white with the cross, but I've seen different variations. And Robert McGabb, World War II. Thank you all for your service. But look at all these flags, guys. I would be here all day. But you know, like I said, it's a pretty big, and it's kind of old, you know. Early, 1900s. I don't know, the first burial here might have been, oh, now this is interesting. What is this? Oh, somebody put a birdhouse here. Oh, and you're going to hear gunshots in the background. Somewhere beyond this wooded area here. Somebody's been shooting the last 10-15 minutes out here. Sounds like shotgun. A little birdhouse here. That was nice. I don't know if you're going to hear it, but here's the husband, obviously, a husband and wife, Martin Aloysius Morin. I'm sorry, don't mean to be disrespectful. I'm very bad at pronunciation sometimes. This has got to be, don't tell me this is World War I, is it? Oh, I'm sorry, my camera work sometimes is not so good either. But yeah, this is World War I, gentlemen. Thank you for your service. Yeah, World War I even. So pretty amazing. Yeah, this place is gigantic. I tend to mostly focus on the older ones simply because I have a construction background, and I just have this appreciation for the skills that they put into these headstones. I mean, it's like fascinating to me back even in the 1800s, even sometimes in the 1700s, they were able to make very elaborate headstones, and it's just fascinating to me because of my construction background. So that's probably the best place in here, right in those trees. But this is, I don't know what this one is here. Let's take a look here. I think this was meant for a family, but then family must have moved away or something, because there's only a couple of grave sites in here, headstones in here. So, oh, this is toppled over, Greenwood, father and mother Greenwood. I'm sure they brought this big plot here for their family, and then they didn't, I said they probably moved away. But this is a pretty big place, and it seems like every one of them I go to, here's a lot of veterans here, several veterans here. John O'Donnell, World War II, died in 1967. Daniel O'Donnell, here's another family. Yeah, look at that. First U.S. War, 1941. Wait a minute, this has got to be World War I. U.S. Army Navy Oh, I've seen this emblem before. I need to do research on this. It says USA, Cuba, and then it says Puerto Rico, and then it says Philippines. So they're all backwards. Philippines. So this was probably, he was probably lifelong military, and he served in all of those four. Wow, look at this. Tank destroyer. Look at this. World War Sergeant, 805th Tank Destroyer, World War II. Wow. I mean, just the tank destroyer, that really says a lot. Thank you all for your service. But this gentleman here, we fought in the Philippines. We fought Cuba, Puerto Rico. I don't know. I wouldn't call those wars, but he was probably, like I said, he was probably lifelong military, and so he was probably, maybe he was stationed at all those places. But in every one of these, almost every one of these places I come to, you'll find these giant granite stones. This looks like granite, I'm not sure. And I mean, look how thick they are. That's at least 2 feet thick there, What is that? Sargerson, Dillon. So, and here's the Dillon family. Well, Sargerson, this one's Sargerson. And then Quinn. And then the rest of these are Dillons. Oh no, I'm sorry, not all of them. Yeah, there's more Sargersons and Dillons. Okay, so obviously they were all related. And there's a couple more. There's a Smitty. So yeah, so that part over there where I first started, very spooky, very spooky. There was something about it, I don't know. And you know, of course, you're always going to find this. What's this one? There was something up here. It was a cross. It's just laying up there now. Patrick Sarkey. But very interesting. Place, like I said, place is pretty big. And you have some mausoleums over there with, you know, that big area there. There. So that's probably a family mausoleum. But the place is too big to cover it all, folks, so hopefully forgive me. But like I said, if you can, you know, leave me a comment. What I can do, if I can do anything better, let me know. But, you know, I do this in my other videos. If you see my other videos, I explain a little bit detail here, a little bit there. Believe it or not, I grew up in I was like 10 years we spent in a haunted house. Whether you believe me or not, I don't know. You know, I don't like to talk about it. We didn't talk about it even as a family. This has got to be World War I here. Yeah, World War I. Thank you for your service. And, you know, so as I gotten older, killed in action. Son, Lucien J. Died in 1944, obviously World War II. First Lieutenant Infantry, World War II, killed in action, buried at St. James, United States Marine, France. Oh my God, look, here's some history right here, folks. So his body is in France, like so many other poor soldiers who didn't make it, fought for our freedom. People need to remember this. You know, lots of people died for our freedom. And we got to give them respect when it's due. So, yeah, like I said, there's a lot of, thank you, sir. Thank you for your service and thank you for your sacrifice for us. So I'm going to have to call it an end, but I'll finish my train of thought. So I kind of grew up spent about 10 years in a haunted house where every family member had an experience. Not just one, but many. And as I got older, I kind of like get drawn to places like this, but also my construction background. I appreciate the craftsmanship, like I said. And, you know, I just, I'm not out here ghost hunting, okay? I'm not doing that. I guess I just get drawn. I don't even remember when I first started doing this, to be honest with you, what started me. It just happened. Oh, here we go. Oh, here's a true Italian right here. Okay, you got the cross. Angelina Vicini, 1910. You hear that accent? So I try to throw in. Look at this. Famiglia Vicini, or family. It means, I know that means family. Anyway, and then you have this. You know, you got these just toppled over. But yeah, folks. So I do this. So if you could just please support me. I just ask you to support me by, you know, becoming a subscriber. Hit the like button, leave a comment if you want. Let me know if I can do anything better and different. And this has got to be a World War. Oh, here, I'm sorry, it's this one. Father, oh wow, look at this. Father Andrew Frere, 1944, 6th Division, World War I. Look at that. So obviously, it says infantry. So I don't know if he was in the priesthood, priest in the military, or he fought there, but he still served. And thank you for your service. Either way, he still served. You know, or you know, even just being there is you're serving. You know, you're doing their duty. Here's World War II. So it's just Thomas F. Smay. That's an unusual name. Thomas F. Smay, 1944. Oh, look at this. He died in the war. What does that say? Atoli, South Pacific. Wow. Yeah, he buried at sea. Look at that. Can you guys read that? Yeah, I think you can read that. Buried at sea off Eniwetok, Eniwetok, atoll. So one of those small islands, World War II. Wow. Thank you for your sacrifice. So, yeah, like I said, folks, I can't read them all, but there's history out here. Let's not forget our fallen soldiers and the ones who served, who didn't fall but served, you know. But it's amazing. So we're finding several fallen soldiers here buried overseas. You know, it's amazing. It's a history, big history out here in this country that, you know, we don't talk about. I don't know. I talk about it a little bit on the videos, but usually these things don't come up in conversation. Oh, this must be World War I here. Thomas O'Connell. Yeah, American Legion. Oh, look at that. So that's World War I. I mean, the dates fit to World War I. Joseph P. Sanborn. Like I said, they're not. I don't know if this is Italian or not. World War I. Thank you all for your service. They're not all Italian in here, but there's a lot of Italians. I think it started out as an Italian church cemetery, and maybe another denomination took over. And I don't know. You know, who knows where. But this is it, folks. I'm going to call it an end here. Like I said, please subscribe. Leave me any comments. If I can do anything better, let me know, because I'm trying to improve. I'm also trying to improve my camera work, so forgive me when I move around quite fast sometimes, but I just see something and I get excited and I have to go check it out, you know. Anyway, that's it, folks. So Graveyard Tours, subscribe please, and hit the like button. Appreciate it, and thank you all much. Till the next time. Bye.